must be the greatest. I told the world, I thought the God ever gave. I'm the best ever.
Welcome to the DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with co-host Bad Chaz and neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. Welcome to episode 34. Thank you guys for tuning in. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, let them know what we have on tap for them.
Yeah, you know what? This week we have the big one, Canelo versus Ryder, man. I'm excited for that one.
Absolutely. Bad Chaz, what else do we have on tap for them?
Oh, you know what? We're going to go over the fight that took place this weekend, the Zepeda versus the Arboleda.
Arboleda, absolutely. But before we get into those topics, guys, we have a special guest. Let me introduce him. Fighting out of the Zoom corner, hailing from Brownsville, Texas. Standing at 5'9", weighing in at a trim and ready 140 pounds, with a professional record of 14 victories, only 1 defeat, 5 big wins by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Omar, el Relámpago Juárez.
What's up, Omar?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, what's up, you guys? What's up?
Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Omar. Thank you for making the time out to be on the DL Boxing Podcast. How you doing this evening, man?
No, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm doing good, man. Doing really, really good. Working hard. We're already at the finishing touches at camp, so I'm ready for next weekend.
Amazing, man, and we thank you again, man. So let's get into the interview, Omar. Tell the boxing viewers your journey, how it all began, that led you to become a professional boxer.
Well, I started boxing at 8 years old. I started training. My dad trained me and my older brother, Rudy. And it's been a bumpy road, man. Very, very bumpy road. But I'm grateful for all those losses that I had in my amateur career, because it's made me the fighter that I am today. And I had 120 fights, yeah, but with about maybe 40 losses. And I remember, the sport was basically telling me to quit, but I was just so persistent, so disciplined, so consistent in my craft that, eventually I made a name for myself. I started winning tournaments slowly at 16, 17. And at 19 years old, we ended up catching up with a coach from San Antonio. His name is Rick Nunez. He's the trainer of Mario Barrios. And ever since then, I got signed with PBC, and it's, the rest is history.
Yeah, man. Nice. Congratulations on that, man. That's quite a story, a perseverance, right? That a lot of young fighters should look up to, man. So let's take a look at your professional career, Omar. I believe you're 15 fights in. Let's take a look at your pro debut, which happened in 2018. You scored a unanimous decision over Matt Gaver. Tell us how you felt going into your pro debut and how that night went.
It was different, bro. It was different. I'm probably like one of the last fighters that PBC had signed to where they debuted on national television. They told me, God works in mysterious ways, but hey, your debut is going to be on national television. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. So it was, I wouldn't say a lot of pressure, but I did have I had the whole city behind me, supporting me, and it was crazy, man. It really was. But I didn't think I knew what I was getting myself into until we were face to face. All right, touch gloves. And we touched gloves, and I was like, whoa, I felt his knuckles. I felt how small the gloves were. No headgear. I was like, all right, we're going to have to be smart in this. And you could see in the fight that, I was hitting and not getting hit, which is the name of the game. But ultimately, I'm getting, I'm still getting more and more comfortable with the small gloves, still getting more comfortable in the ring. And it's all a process, and I'm trusting it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And so you roll off with 11 consecutive victories, Omar. And then you fight All Rivera in 2021 and lose a majority decision. Tell us that learning lesson, what you learned, and what that experience was like, man.
Oh, it was a really good fight, man. It was definitely a tough camp. We ended up doing camp with Mario Barrios in the Bay Area when he fought Tank. And there were a couple of things we could have, changed during the camp. There was a couple of things we could have changed during the fight. A lot of things came to play in that fight. He was a very, very fighter. He used his experience. He did what he had to do in order to win. And, props to him. But, I took that loss just like I take my wins. I go back to the drawing board. I stay disciplined, stay dedicated. And, a lot of people mention that loss like if it's going to bother me, but I love when they do, because, all the greats have had losses. It's fine. I'm not a person that's like, oh, I want to stay undefeated my whole career. If I lose, I want to show and practice what I preach. And that's to stay disciplined, stay consistent, win losses, draws. You have to continue to work hard, and your dreams will become reality if you just stay persistent, have that tunnel vision. That's exactly what I did. I lost around in June, and then September they called for a Fox telecast fight in Bakersfield, California. We ended up fighting a pretty good opponent. He was very, very durable. We ended up winning by unanimous decision. And I believe in February of last year was when I fought Mandalay Bay against Ryan Carl from Houston, Texas. And I got my first title, the WBC international title.
Wow. Fantastic.
So it's been good, man. It's been good. I'm just staying disciplined, staying consistent. And I'm in a position that I prayed for when I was smaller. So I'm not going to let a loss, which I'm used to. And I feel like that's what the amateurs prepared me for. All those losing, all those the times I've been knocked down, all that has prepared me for this time. I lost. I was like, all right, it's nothing I haven't tasted before. Let's get it. Let's keep pushing forward. It's my story at the end of the day. So I got to keep writing it.
Wow. Beautifully said, Omar. That's amazing, man. And a great example for today's fighters to look up to. You're right, man. A loss just builds character, and you just come back stronger, man, which you have. And with that said, Omar, on May 13th, you are scheduled to fight former two-weight world champion Rances Bartholomew in Las Vegas on Showtime. Tell us how camp has been going, man.
It's been the best camp yet, bro. I've had the perfect sparring. I was actually sparring who was the main event, Alberto Puello, a Dominican fighter, 140-pound champion. And then, that stuff popped up about him, trying to have kids. Things happen for a reason, but we've had the perfect sparring. I've worked with the world-renowned strength and conditioning coach, Tony Brady, who was Andre Awards, Amir Khan's, Andre Durrell. He had a lot of world champions. So we've been doing strength and conditioning with him. And yeah, man, we're already closing the show. I'm ready to display all my hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears next weekend.
That's awesome. You certainly sound locked in, focused. Omar, Bartholomew is a good fighter, man. He beat Al Rivera, who gave you your loss. So does this provide extra motivation for you, knowing that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, after that Al Rivera loss, literally 2-3 weeks later, we were asking for the fight. My managers offered a lot of money, but turns out he didn't want the fight. And I knew from personal friends of his telling me that, his life went downhill. He stopped boxing. He gained a lot of weight. Just a lot of things, man. So it is what it is. I try to get, my lick back, but things happen, and this is my way of doing it. Beating Rances is definitely gonna give me that confidence that not so much that I lost, but that peace of mind that I was like, all right, I beat the person that beat me. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for Rances, but I'm looking to dominate next weekend.
That's awesome, and thanks for the insight, man. Because I did notice that was his last fight when he fought you. I'm talking about who was that? Rivera, like you said. So you couldn't get that back. Yeah, I was wondering what happened to him. Going back to your opponent, Rances, what are some of the skills you think that he possesses that you are looking out for or to nullify in the ring on that night, man?
Well, I know he's a slick fighter. He has a lot of experience, and at the end of the day, he's done a couple of 12-rounders. He's done 10-rounders. He has a lot of experience, and he's going to use it against me. But at the end of the day, they haven't fought me before. They haven't fought me, and I'm not just a one-dimensional fighter. I can brawl, I can box, and the thing is that I adapt as the rounds go by. So whatever he's going to do, I'm going to be ready for it. I'm going to use my youth. I'm going to do what I can and do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, we love your style, Omar. Very calculating, patient, and man, you seem ready, man. We can't wait. Omar, I'm going to pass it over to Bad Chaz for some further questions.
Thanks, Coach D. Hey, Omar, I recently read in an article that, you've went and visited, elementary schools in your area. You've went to participate with, labor camps for migrant workers, to kind of show your support and give back to the community. You've gotten a lot of respect from, people, high members of the community, state senate and et cetera. What was that like, those experiences? And what was something that motivated you to kind of want to give back to your community when you've reached this high profile?
No, it's just been a mentality and the way I was raised, man. My father's a big part of that. Ever since we started as amateurs, he always had big hopes for us. He always told, hey, when you guys make it, always remember where you come from, no matter what. Always remember your family. Always remember your friends, the people that helped you. And, that's just the mindset and the type of mentality that, not just me, but all my brothers, my sister as well. We've all just, like, when we make it, we're going to give back. We're going to give back. And not just with the community, but I do a lot of work with the special needs community as well. Had a big heart for them since I was smaller. Just the things that we do in the community is just stuff that makes us feel good. It's not so much to get the publicity, but it makes me feel good in the heart. It makes me feel like I love helping people, man. It's just the way I've always been.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's nice to hear, man, because not everybody gives back. So whenever you get somebody like you, to give back to the community, we have a lot of respect for that. My next question is, during your professional career, what was one of your biggest wins, and what was that biggest win like, and what did you take from it? And can you tell us about that?
It was probably the winning my first title as a professional. It was definitely a very, very tough fight. It was my first camp out here in Vegas. It gave me like a small, because the fighter, the Ryan Carl, he was a contender, world title contender. He fought Mario Barrios. He was a very, very tough fighter, and beating him made me realize, because it was a very close fight. Beating him made me realize, like, all right, I got a lot of work to do. I got to keep pushing. I got to stay uncomfortable more. I got to spend more time out here in Vegas, and that's exactly what we've been doing. I've been looking for any and every way to grow, in and out of the ring. So that win definitely opened my eyes a lot and helped me realize that, what, this lifestyle is 24/7, no matter what. Even when I'm like not in the ring, not in the gym, like I gotta watch what I eat. I gotta stay hydrated. I gotta stay stretching. I gotta do everything that'll benefit me for my career.
Yeah. Nice, man. That's nice to hear. And you know what? You got a great team around you. You know what I mean? And you got a sharp mind. So I think that you're going to do well. And we can't wait to see your fight that's coming up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Neighborhood Hero now.
Hey, what's up, Omar? Thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. Man, I love everything that I'm hearing, Omar. And, it turns out, man, rumor has it that you're also doing a documentary, dude, on your life. Yeah. And everything you're saying just making me even more excited to watch it. What are the details on that, and when is it dropping, man?
No, they actually contacted me like mid this training camp, and it's a producer from Brownsville, and it's exciting, man. It really, really is. I'm really excited to, it's still in production, and I'm excited to show the type of person I am in and out of the ring, to show everything that my family has been through. We haven't had I'm not saying, I have the typical story of growing up, with a hard background or anything like that. Because the fighters I do, like Tank Davis and all them, Andre Ward, like big respects to them for being able to overcome that. But showing that I have not what I wanted, but what I needed growing up in the sport of boxing, and still making it, still striving for success, and even overcoming the loss. Like I want to show, like, that discipline is everything. Mindset is everything. Mentality is everything. And most importantly, faith with yourself and faith with the man upstairs, man. And that's just what I want to preach, most importantly. And I want to show people, who I am.
Yeah, man, that's super inspiring. And another thing that's inspiring to me too, I read an article and it said that you lost your first 10 amateur fights, and to be at, where you're at now, God, man, that's just crazy, man. So, what was your mindset, man, as a kid to keep you, moving forward?
Yeah, bro. I remember my first fight, I got knocked down like 3 times. I was crying, bro. It was, my dad wasn't even there because he was a truck driver, and that's how he would provide for us to be able to fight. So he wasn't even there. And, calling him, telling him that I was losing, like, constantly, like, it was like a rare thing when we would win, me and my older brother. And I don't know, bro. I just didn't like the feeling of being weak or being timid, being shy. Like, I just didn't like that anymore. I wanted to show that the quiet kid in class, the one that doesn't speak anymore, those are the ones that are important. Those are the dangerous ones. Those are the ones that are dangerous but smart, dangerous but intelligent, and they just need guidance. That's it. That's what I fully believe in. And I've always just been the person that, I always say this to everybody. Like, you end up being the person that your smaller self is safe with. And that's exactly who I've become. I've become a person that doesn't take no for an answer. As long as you're disciplined, as long as you're consistent, you can make anything come true.
Man, great answer and well said, man. You know what? With all this work you've been doing, dude, and you're just on this great journey, do you ever get a chance just to sit back and just kind of look back at, you know, where you came from and what you're doing and what you set out to do, man? Because a lot of times, like, you got cameras on you, you got people, you know, always around you. Do you ever get a chance just to sit back and just kind of pinch yourself and say, hey, you know what? Let me live in the now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm so family oriented. You know, we're always, we reminisce, but most importantly, we motivate each other to stay hungry. You know, family is the biggest thing for me, and you know, I started with them, and we're gonna finish this chapter together. So there's always times where we'll be like, yeah, man, like it's crazy. We won a title here, we fought here, we've done this, we've done that. But hey, let's continue grinding. Let's stay hungry. Let's stay not satisfied. Let's keep going. Let's use it as motivation. And that's exactly what we do, man. But I try to like stay uncomfortable, stay hungry, and stay unsatisfied, because ultimately, like I haven't reached everything that I want to set out myself to.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
100% Omar. Hey, man, before we let you go, man, you have the nickname El Relámpago. For those that don't speak Spanish, can you translate that for us and tell us how you got that nickname, Omar?
It means lightning in Spanish. And I mean, I've always had very fast feet and very fast hands ever since I was smaller. So I told my dad, like, I wanted to be called Lightning, but he told me, like, you know, we're Mexican, you know, we have, it just sounds a lot stronger with our last name, you know, El Relámpago. And it's ever since he told me that, like, you know what, yeah, it clicks, bro, it clicks, and everybody loves it. Everybody loves the name. So it's awesome, man. And even my little brother, he's El Trueno, so it's thunder and lightning.
Yeah. Hey, we love it, Omar. Any last words for the boxing fans all around the world, Omar?
Now, I want to appreciate everybody so much for all the support. I want to appreciate DL Boxing Podcast for inviting me. I want to appreciate the city of Brownsville, everybody, all my down by the border buddies. I'm pushing hard, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, putting everything on the line. But you know, this is what I dreamt for. Like I said, this is I'm in the moment that I prayed for. So I'm taking full advantage of it. And thank everybody so much for all the support.
Absolutely, man. Hey, we'll be in your corner May 13th. We'll be pulling for you, man, and all the best on that, man. And with that said, we'll sign off. Thank you, Omar.
Good luck, Omar.
Good luck,
We're
Omar.
rooting for you,
Yes,
man.
sir. Thank you, guys.
Much respect.
All right, guys, well, it's time to recap the fight that happened last weekend. And we had William Zepeda just knock out Jaime Arboleda in 2 rounds. The theme of that night, Neighborhood Hero Ryan Reels, the body shot, right?
Yeah,
How'd that fight go, man?
You know what, dude? I kind of seen Zepeda doing that, man. You know what I mean? I didn't give Jaime much of a shot, and I just know that Zepeda's just relentless, man, and he's just gonna come at you like at every angle, and he's gonna figure you out. But he didn't even give Jaime the opportunity to just throw back, man. He was just already starting on that body. And those, I want to say there was 3 knockdowns, and they were all from body shots, dude. And we all know, I mean, even just watching the Ryan Tank fight, like how brutal those body shots are, man. And Zepeda looked excellent, man. I want to say even after the fight, Martin went up to him and was like, hey, let's get this done. I want to see you in the ring.
Martin?
Frank
Oh,
Martin.
wow,
man.
I heard of that. I didn't know he was in the ring.
No.
Or through social media.
No. He was there at the fight, and while Zepeda was walking back, he went up to him and told him, "Hey, you know, let's get this going." But again, that's a super fight in my eyes. You know, for us fans, that's what we want to see. But dude, Zepeda looked good, dude. He didn't skip a beat, and he's gonna put a beating on his next opponent, I think.
Yeah, I didn't know that Neighborhood Hero Ryan Reels. I didn't know Frank Martin was in attendance. That would be a great fight. Zepeda just ran through Arboleda, just overpowered him, man, and those brutal body shots just put him out for the count. Bad Chaz, William Zepeda, undefeated, 28-0, 24 KOs now, just a machine. What's the next step for him as far as future opponents, man? What do you think, bro?
Like you mentioned, Frank Martin, that would be an excellent fight. Isaac Pitbull Cruz. There's a lot of fighters out there, you know, but not all of them work for the same company or under the same promotional company. But Tank and Ryan showed that that's not always the case. That you can make these fights happen. You know what I mean? That they just need to push for it. And I mean, they sell great numbers, and it brings big business. I think that those would be some great opponents for him in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely. Congratulations, William Zepeda, on your knockout victory. All right, guys, it's fight week. All right, guys, it's time to preview the main event, Cinco de Mayo weekend, May 6th, via DAZN pay-per-view. We have the return of the middleweight undisputed king, Saul Canelo Alvarez, 58-2 with 2 draws, 39 big wins by knockout. He will take on John Ryder, 32-5 with 18 KOs. This is a homecoming for Canelo, guys. This will be in the Estadio Akron in Guadalajara, Mexico. Man, we've been waiting to see Canelo back in action, right? He's supposedly all healed up from the injury that he had sustained years prior. Bad Chaz, what do you think about this fight, man?
Oh, you know what? It's going to be exciting to see Canelo get back in the ring. You know, I hope that, everything's intact and that, his surgery and recovery went well, and he doesn't have any issues that come up, during the fight. I think that it's a great fight. He's taking it back to Mexico. His opponent, Ryder, I mean, he's a southpaw, according to BoxRec. Canelo has kind of had some southpaws that he's faced in the past, you know what I mean? And he kind of has to, kind of wait, for his opportunity to kind of rise, to get in there and kind of land the shots that he wants to use to devastate his opponent. So I think that, it's something that we'll see in the later rounds, Canelo kind of take over. I think that it's cool. He's going back to Mexico and giving them his fans and his family, a treat, and a fight there. And it's going to be a great venue.
Yeah, historic.
Yeah.
In the wise words of Roy Jones Jr., neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, y'all must have forgot, right? This is the fight. Canelo wants to remind us all that, hey, I'm the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. How do you see that, man?
You know what, dude? I'm just glad that he has John Ryder as an opponent because I think it's a good bounce back fight for him. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want to see him take on Bivol right away. I want to see him get those juices flowing, see where he's at. But I see Canelo looking impressive, man, especially in Mexico, dude. Like, it's a win-win for him. But again, what's next for Canelo? You know what I mean? We'll see after this. But just looking forward to it, dude. Going to be a fan and, start drinking early, man.
Right. Enjoy Cinco de Mayo weekend. I can't help but it remind me or harkens it back to when Chavez fought Hagen back in the day in Mexico. One of he, like I said, he wanted to treat his Mexican fans, on the tail end of his great career. I see this as that kind of fight where Canelo's just going to put on a show and take out Ryder in the mid rounds and show us all that he still has it, right? Yeah. So don't miss Saul Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder, Saturday, May 6th. All right, guys. Well, it's time to do a new segment that I like to call Chopped Liver. All right, guys. We just featured the Zepeda fight, which ended in the body shot knockout.
Yeah.
And then Tank knocking out Ryan with the body shot. So we're gonna feature fights that ended in a knockout via the body shot where the guy just fell in excruciating pain. Bad Chaz, let's go with yours first, man. What do you got to present for us?
Oh, you know what? Just kind of going back, like a little time. But Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya, they got into a little exchange in the later end of the fight, you know what I mean? And Bernard Hopkins, he was kind of the bigger opponent, kind of walking towards him, and they were kind of exchanging. And Oscar De La Hoya was holding his ground, but, Bernard Hopkins, he was able to kind of sneak in that liver shot and put it right in the right spot, right where he needed it. And Oscar De La Hoya, man, he just kind of had that delayed reaction. And when he went to the ground, he couldn't get back up, man. He was disappointed, right? And he was just down on the ground, and just everybody in the stadium was just disappointed, shocked, because everybody was going for the Golden Boy. They were going for Oscar De La Hoya, but yeah, Bernard Hopkins, you know what I mean? He had that sneaky left hook and just took him down.
Yeah, made chopped liver. Absolutely. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what's your nomination for chopped liver?
I'm going to go with
more like chopped kidney, right? Or chopped ribs. Go ahead.
Exactly, man. I'm going to go with Roy Jones Jr. versus Virgil Hill.
Ooh.
And I remember leading up to that fight, dude, Virgil Hill was always known as a tough opponent, dude. And Jones was just that good. Everybody wanted to see him lose, man. Just people just didn't care for Jones just for the fact that they said he wasn't fighting anybody. But I knew Hill was tough, dude. Yeah. And Jones had something about him, man, that just you couldn't teach, dude. He was just always just pop shotting in and out. He was like a cobra to me. And I want to say it was a third, fourth round, dude. He baited Hill in with just this throwaway punch and just came up with just this brutal, devastating kidney shot, dude.
Yeah.
And just put Hill to the canvas, dude. And Hill was, like I said, a tough guy, dude. But, man, he just went down like a ton of bricks, dude. Yeah. And he couldn't get up. And I never forget that punch, man, because, man, that's a shot that, is just something that always sticks on my head. When you think of body shots, that's one thing that I think of is just that Jones-Hill fight, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good one, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. My nomination is Triple G, just sharpshooting Macklin with the body shot. It looked like he got sniped, shot. He just went down right away, holding his side, man. In the third round, Triple G lands that liver shot, man. And like I said, Macklin just goes down immediately in pain. Like one of the announcers said, you could have counted to 100. He wouldn't have made it up, man. But, man, that was in the period where Triple G was just at his peak, right? Where he was just like the Terminator, avoided, and everybody, like, man, he has that Mexican style, that hook to the body, like, like a prime Chavez. And sure enough, did he showcase it that night? Oh, boy, everybody was put on notice. And like you said, they avoided him, throughout those years. But, man, what a body shot.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, so that was chopped liver, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed those body shot knockouts. Boy, are they memorable. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our podcast. Man, I want to thank Omar Juárez for taking the time out.
Thanks,
during
Omar.
training camp, man. He's locked in. He just, everything about him we just love, right?
Yeah. Super focused, man.
Super focused, Any shout outs we want to give, guys? Never hit a hero, Ryan Reels?
Yeah, you know what? I'll give out a shout out to Carlito with Fight Talk. He's another podcaster, and always looking at to see who's next. What big boxer. Coach, whatever, dude. He's always, hustling, dude. And thanks for sending me out this shirt, dude. Much appreciated, man.
Awesome, man. Neighbor, I'm sorry, Bad Chaz, any shout outs, man?
You know what? Just our fans and our subscribers, you know what? We appreciate the comments, you know what I mean? We love seeing that in the comment section and kind of get engaged in a conversation with them, especially Hugo, you know what I mean? He's been consistent, and he's always kind of reminding us that, you know what? We got real, true fans out there, you know what I mean? So thanks, man. And we hope that you enjoy this episode as well.
Absolutely, man. And we want to thank all you fans for tuning in. We want to thank sound guy Rob, cameraman Liam. Thank you again for all your help. And with that said, guys, I am Coach D, along with Bad Chaz and neighborhood hero Ryan Reels. And we're out, guys.